We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Michael Barkan, Ricky Batalico, Ben Davis, in a moment, John Kruk from the yard. 4-1 Phillies lose to Atlanta. They are now 39-37 on the season. 5 games from the halfway point. We stress that. And they are 3-6 in their last 9 games. We mentioned the last 9 because those 6 losses, they have scored an average of 1.8 runs per game in those 6 losses. Don't know what to make out of it. We heard John say they're trying. They're trying to win.
Trying means absolutely nothing at the Major League Baseball level. But the one thing you have to look at here is there were certain situations in this game where the Phillies may have had a chance. Derek Hall hitting later in the game. You let Moniak hit late in the game again. You know, those aren't decisions that are easy to make. I understand that. But, I mean, I think Mickey Moniak is striking out at will right now, and he's beginning to be a little bit of a problem in this lineup. But it's up and down. I mean, when you really look at the lineup as a whole, you had who? Rhys Hoskins. That was it for the night. And this was like watching a silent movie. I mean, quite frankly, go ahead and put some earplugs in and kind of half close your eyes, and you'll know what's going on in the game. It was a quiet game for the Phillies bats.
Ben, we tried to figure it out last night in the loss. They have all-stars on this team. They have guys that you would think would be able to produce, but it's not happening.
No, it's not happening right now, Michael, and you hate to see that because of what happened to the Mets today. They lost and had the chance to make up some ground on the Braves the last 2 nights. They haven't been able to take advantage of it. The bats have gone silent. Tonight, just 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, better than the 1 for 10 last night. But if you look at it, you say, well, they just didn't have any opportunities tonight.
So they got better tonight.
They didn't have any opportunities. I thought Ranger was okay, threw way too many pitches, 6 2/3, 110 pitches, of which how many? 66 were strikes. Obviously, that number needs to go up. But I thought he was okay tonight. I think he's found some things with the fastball on the inside part of the plate to righties, and his changeup was excellent tonight, able to throw that behind in counts. I'm just trying to find some positives. They were some positives I saw out of
He hurts himself early in the game. I really believe that. When you watch Ranger the first couple innings, that first inning, I mean, he went from possibly getting out of the inning in, 12 pitches to ending up throwing 26 in that inning. That's something you have to try to limit, try to minimize that. And, I mean, granted, he still stayed in the game long enough, and he did his job. This Phillies offense, they're asleep right now.
Yeah, I'm not certainly, as we go over to John Kruk, I'm not going to pin it on Ranger as we did in Zach Wheeler last night. They've got to get more runs. John, where was what was the crux of this one, Mr. Kruk?
They couldn't score. But look, we talk about Bryce being out, and, look, he's the guy in the lineup, right? He makes people around him better, you would think, because of, he's going to be on base a lot. But we keep forgetting to talk about probably the best pure hitter on this team, and Gene Segura. Hitting at the top of the lineup or hitting 5th or 6th, wherever Rob Thomson feels, Gene best benefits the lineup for that particular game. That's a guy you miss because he's a guy that can put the ball in play. He can take you deep if you make a mistake on him, but he can hit the ball at all fields. He's very good at moving runners with the runner on first because he can hit behind runners. That's huge. When you're struggling to score runs, you have to try to manufacture. And Gene Segura was probably our best situational hitter that we had on this team.
Hey, John, talk to me a little bit about Mickey Moniak right now. Seems a little bit lost at the plate, to say the least.
Yeah, and it's tough because in spring he had such a good spring, and then of course we know the injury, broke his hand, and had to start the season on the injured list after having that great spring. But what you've noticed, like spring training, they were, it's spring training. They're going to throw you a lot more fastballs than normal. And you watch now, it's if he has a 6-pitch at bat, he might get 2 fastballs and 4 curveballs, or 5 curveballs and 5 breaking balls and 1 fastball. He's just not getting that many fastballs in the zone to hit, and that's where he has to be patient. And at some point he's going to have to go up to home plate and say, you know what, I'm sitting on a breaking ball until I get 2 strikes. If he throws a fastball down the middle, so be it. But the only way you're going to get them to quit throwing you breaking balls the majority of the time is to hit a breaking ball.
John, you look at Nick Castellanos tonight, 0 for 4 again. It just seems like he's keeps offering. Do you think he's seeing the ball right now? Because he's swinging an awful lot of sliders down and away. Like, he can't even reach them. If he were to stick his bat out, he couldn't even reach them. You think something's going on where he's just not seeing pitches?
Yeah, I don't know, but I want to go back and watch some film on him, Ben, just to see if he's backed off the plate more, because he had a pitch from Kyle Wright that was a breaking ball, and the whole ball was in the box. It was away, but the whole ball was in the box for a strike, and Nick was reaching for it. And, you know, when you have a ball that's in the strike zone and you still have to reach for it like that just to hope to foul it off, then an adjustment needs to be made as far as where you're standing in the batter's box and you know, and pitch selection. But
can that be just guessing in?
Well,
no, I mean on that certain pitch.
Oh yeah, it could have been. They could have tried to open up early, thinking a fastball was coming and get a breaking ball, but. And that does happen. It's happened to everyone that's ever played. You know, you guess wrong and you look. You know, it doesn't look good, but you know, he's trying. There's times he goes up and you think, all right, he's aggressive first pitch, and he takes a good aggressive swing first pitch and he fouls it off, and then it's like, gosh, you know, now what? You know, it's gonna. I thought he was going to come around after that 4-hit game in San Diego. I really thought that, okay, he's going to start getting hot, and I still believe that he has that ability to get hot, hopefully sooner than later. And look, they need him bad. Without Bryce, without Gene, they need these guys bad. They need him, and you know, Reese had a good game today, a couple hits, couple extra base hits. But they need all hands on deck right now to contribute offensively, and they're just not getting it. And that's why you know, they're not putting a lot of runs on the board.
So should we just not expect them to do much unless Bryce gets back? I mean, you know how Mom used to say, look, if I didn't think you were smart enough, I wouldn't get upset if you brought home a C or a D. But you got the smarts. Does this team have the horses? Do they have the baseball smarts, if you will, to do it right now, John?
Yeah, when I was in school, my mom would have did cartwheels if I brought home a C. I didn't go to Malvern Preparatory School for boys. You know, I had that
like
rural education.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
I
Phil
do.
Goslin, that's who I was
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about.
good point. Yes. Phil.
I don't know
Valid
anyone
point,
else
Johnny.
that went there. Well, Michael, you have to trust, though. You have to trust that these guys on their back of their baseball card have been productive hitters. Now, you never know about the young guys. You don't know about Stott. You feel like he's going to hit. Moniak, you know, he hasn't proven yet he can hit in the big leagues. But you have to trust the fact that hopefully he can figure it out. But listen, if you're counting on your ninth hitter, and I get it. He's come up with guys on base and he hasn't delivered for the team. But, you know, if you're counting on your ninth hitter to be that RBI guy, you're going to lose a hell of a lot of games. And that's every team. I'm not talking about the Phillies. I'm not talking about Mickey Moniak. I'm talking every team. If you're ninth hitter, if you're counting on him to be that run producer, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's what worries us. All right, Johnny. We'll check you tomorrow.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks so much. John Kruk joining us from the booth, calling tonight with Tom McCarthy. Phillies are now 8 games back of the Mets for first place. The Braves are 3 games back of the Mets. Mets have lost 3 straight, and the Braves have had their second hottest month ever, 21-5 in the month of June. You know, here's another guy who's an all-star.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me about Castellanos right now is the fact that he's late on fastballs. And he's a guy that is notorious for jumping all over fastballs. You saw the outs that he made on fastballs. They weren't above average fastballs. I mean, they were average big league fastballs. That last one he struck out on was 89 off Jesse Chavez, who does not have overpowering stuff. Probably a ball, but he's late on the fastballs, and I think sometimes he gets going a little too early, trying to catch up to the fastball, doesn't recognize spin on the breaking ball, and then he just goes in and swings right through it.
All right, let's hear from Rob Thomson on this loss tonight. Clubhouse.
How badly do you need a third hitter in addition to Kyle and Reese kind of step up right now? It seems like a lot of holes right now in the middle of that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't swing the bats tonight well at all. That's been the last couple nights. They've pitched well, you know. Yeah, we need some more production from people, and I'm sure we're going to get it.
Castellanos is about to
wrap up a really difficult June. What
Yeah.
really would expect from him? What, do you put your finger on anything where it's off for him and what needs to happen to get it going?
Yeah, I've said a few times, I think he's just going out to get the ball a little bit. He's probably trying to do a little bit too much, you know. But, you know, he's working out, that's for sure. And we see improvements in BP and in early work and things like that, but it hasn't translated in the game yet.
You think of Ranger?
It's the ball good. I mean, there was still some 3-ball counts, but I thought he threw the ball good, and he really grinded and, you know, battled.
What made you want to push him there? I think that was like, I think he hit career high pitches.
Well, that was going to be his last hitter, no matter what, the home run. And then once the home run was hit, then I thought, well, let's try and get him through the inning, and then Alvarado can start the next inning. And then he gave up a base hit, and that was too much, so went out to get him.
It's nice to see Bill make his debut.
Yeah, that was a great moment. It really was. He was pretty emotional coming off the mound, and well-deserved. I mean, you know, the guy's been through a lot. It's a great story.
What did you think of his inning, just the way he threw it?
High velocity. You know, he went right after him, and I was watching the warm-ups, and he threw a pitch back to the screen. I thought, ooh. But as soon as the game started, he settled right in, threw strikes, and went right after people. So it was good to see.